Alright, and we're back to where we left off. End of the prologue. Refresher, we are doing decent on our breadsticks. Gold in the tank. No morale. Military not doing great, but we are honorable. It is end of November. Let us see what the next act foretells. Ooh, achievement. The winds of winter also bring with them the return of the soldiers. Weary from their journey, they are welcomed home by family. Oh, how wonderful. They should wear clothes, though. It looks cold outside. As the snows Did you misspell that? Accumulate? Isn't that supposed to be like accumulate? Addison, come on. You're supposed to be professional. Thy people bunker in their homes, praying for a short winter. The warmth of spring cannot come quick enough for the people of Brookton. Oh my god, the snow! Oh, they're dead. They're gonna die. We don't have enough breadsticks for this. Act 1. The Lord's Mount. Here we are, middle of March. We have returned to it being nice and not snowy. Alright. Food is low. Real low. Aye. Gold still going down. Food, we got triple arrows up, so we will replenish quickly. Spring returns. What have you for me? Spring hath returned to the Western Valley after a tough winter. The people of Brookton take to the fields and are eager to get to work. Lord Brightward, with winter gone, let us look ahead to growing thy house and influence. Ooh, wonderful. Tell me of our food report. My lord, we finished checking in on everybody in town and can warrant that we suffered no casualties and has no sick from the winter. Our food stores are enough to feed everyone in spite of the long winter. Nice. Ooh, morale's up. Nice. Now, if only I could do something about my gold. Okay, where's my controller? Yeah. Who's this? Ooh. Methinks mine shirt is inside out. Methinks you're not wearing a shirt, my nudist friend. Oh, there you go. Oh. Nice hairdo there. Alright, let us see what the next week foretells. Ooh. Our gold. Honor took a slight hit there. House improvements, here we go. Ooh, we also have a finisher on the watermill as well. Thou will begin thy day with a meeting of thy steward after breaking fast. They approach with a stack of scrolls and an unusually chipper look upon their brow. Good day, my lord. Now that spring is upon us, time calls upon us to regard what improvements thou desires to compose these coming months. Thou shalt meet with Castellan Charles Keep, Master of Arms, Martin Smith, and myself to hark our proposed improvements for consideration. Resources are limited, so we shall only be able to pursue 3 initiatives, and we want to know what be high priority and what be low priority. They lay out schedules next week, and leave thou to attend to other daily offices. Okay, so we get to do some cool improvements. Let's see what we got for the watermill, though. You, my friend. On the morrow, you're greeted by a mounted knight thou hast yet to meet here. Armor is cared for. They bare their head and posture high with pride. They pull their horse to a stop outside thy keep. Thy heir whispers words of wonder to meet one of the finest swords of the land. Greetings, sir. Greetings, Lord Brightward. I be Sir Mary Bennington, one of High Lord Bennington's sworn companions. We are here to discuss the conflict last fall with Carlbridge. The High Lord reviewed accounts from both sides and hath confirmed that House Carlbridge failed to uphold the king's peace in attacking thou with a baseless claim to the island. Yeah, they murdered somebody. Like, Straight up murdered a man. They are to vacate the island. House Brightward will resume control of the watermill on Miller's Island. Thou dost not change the border betwixt... This does not change the border betwixt thy houses. The river shall remain the line. We shall be visiting Carlbridge next. We expect no further tension betwixt thy houses. Yeah, right. We'll see about that. Thy honor us with thy trust. There'll be no further from us. We shall cause no problems. We shall defend ourselves. Cannot... Well, we kind of won out in this, right? I don't really want to throw mud in their faces after we won. Let's go honor. We'll go the top one. 'Tis done is done. Best we take the high road and appeal to their honor. I'm sure they have none, but let them look the fools. Forward. Yeah. More flour for you. Welcome back, gentlemen. To work. Oh my god. I don't know that I trust you around machinery. Best of luck. Income from the watermill, gold goes up, morale goes up. Alrighty. Go check out the mill. What are you doing over here? Many hands maketh light work indeed. The supply stabilizes in 9 days. Okay. Alright, let's go back. Let's see what the next week has. Alright, improvement ideas. Castellan, what do you have for me? Pouring over sketches of fort walls and rough maps of the surrounding territory. I was reviewing our current infrastructure and have seen proposals for thou to weigh. As the smallest noble house, we have the least to offer our high lord. To change that, we should build new buildings for us to grow into new spaces. Alright. Build an inn, a bank, and lastly stables and pasture. Tell me about the inn. Currently, most travel destined for the High Lord's seat of Cresthall goes through House Stocklands because they have more to offer travelers. And you give travelers better options than sleeping beneath their wagons when passing through. Alright. Bank. The bank would go in the middle of town by the market, encouraging merchants to invest their gold with us. Do not underestimate the influence of the bank to give us over others. The more we can borrow to others, the more leverage we have over them. Sounds like a good idea. You too. Tell me about the horses. Lack of quality horses in the valley, so we should consider building stables and a pasture. Okay. Inn, bank, and horses. Look forward to hearing my choice. What else we got? Guards. Master of Arms is steadily observing the guards' training. Discuss possible improvements. What do you desire? Move our defenses and army. Yeah, after Carlbridge murdered one of our dudes. We need to bolster ourselves beyond our current house guard. We need to guard towers to alert us sooner to issues. Bolster the guard. First option, we recruit and train a small standing army of our own. The other houses would take notice that we can react with conviction when threatened. Should be a slow process. Jeez. Slow process. Come on, mouth. As we need to recruit and spend the better part of the year training, not to mention the cost of gear. Second option, we hire a mercenary group. Expecting to fight much sooner. I just imagine we have to pay them now. Yeah, we have to overpay them, and their loyalty only extends as far as their gold. Guard towers. Our guards and patrol would make use of outposts to stay safe. Watchtowers could warn of any other maneuvers and defend against invaders. It is not unheard of for bandit groups to be out in the woods. Alright. Gramercy. And last, talk to me, Stuart. Everyone appears to be in good spirits. Nice. It is time to discuss the current state of our house and areas I believe we should prioritize. Despite being the smallest house of the valley, they keep saying that. I get it, we're small. I get it. We have strengths that we can nurture, namely our millers and our farms. How best can we use our millers? I do wish when I clicked on that, it wouldn't, like I already selected my voice option here. I wish I wouldn't have to click next right away to see the next bit of dialogue. Seems a little bit redundant. House Brightwood has the best millers in the valley. Flour is our main export, and with recent troubles at the watermill, it behooves us to build new windmills on our southern hills to be less dependent on the river. God, we love windmills. This would cement our position in the valley as the primary source of flour and ground grains. Where we make more farms. The field north of town is empty and ripe for use. We are barely self-sufficient currently, so it'd be prudent to build more farms to keep ahead of food needs. Makes sense. We did almost starve to death. We can sell our excess to other houses, yet we compete with House Stock to the southeast as they also supply the capital with food. Okay, so I'd make more money, but maybe get into some kind of animosity with House Stock. Alright. Next week we shall meet for your decision. I hope you recognize our need to keep our existing strength sharp to maintain our relevance in the valley. Okay, that's a good amount of options. Let's see what this peace deal has for us. Get off my island. Thy steward. Yeah, this is my island now. Why are we meeting here? You're standing in the blood of a man your people killed. Also, I've jammed my sword through my steward's head. That's not great. Sorry, buddy. Right through your bald spot. Lord Brightward, Lord Carlbridge extends their regards and wants to put this nasty business with the watermill behind us. Is offering to buy flour at a premium as a token of good faith. Thy lord is most gracious, yet we only have enough extra flour for one trade partner after ourselves, and what we sell the high lord. A moment to discuss. Okay, so they want flour, now that they've lost the means of production, of making flour. Counter, trade at normal prices. Agree, trade at a markup. 50% markup. Say we have other trade partners in mind, or just flat reject, saying we won't deal with them at all. As much as I want to click the last option, this dude has apparently no problem shedding my blood on my island. Do I really want to incite a madman? Do we take the easy one at the 25% markup? If I counter at normal prices, not sure why I would do that. What would I probably get out of this? I get food goes down, money goes up, and I am saying to not mark up their thing. That's probably an honor thing, but I'd imagine morale would go down from this as well, right? Because they killed one of our people, and then I, like, hand wave away, oh, we don't need your extra money. 25% markup. Stronger health, well, you might get a better deal. That's also true. They want the flour, they can pay a premium for it. Yeah, they might not accept this at all. Let's take the vanilla road here. Kind of the boring one, maybe, but 25% markup, more gold. Gold's kind of what we're hurting for. If I say this, much of the kind of a snub as this might be, it seems like there's a good chance he won't accept it, and I need the money. Alright, we have to move forward and forge a peace for the greater good of the valley. Alright, food production goes down by 0.8. Gold jumps an entire whole symbol. Nice. Alright, so what we're lacking right now, food maxes out at 2.5, so halfway through. Gold above half, honor above half. Morale above half. Military is where I'm lacking here. Do I want to spend any of these improvements to improve military, or do I want to double dip into something else? Let's find out next week on My Liege, which is now. Okay, so we got our priority improvements. Let's look at high priority first. Thy advisors eagerly await to find out which initiatives thou intend to pursue this spring and summer. Okay, so high priority will be worked on fastest and first. Okay, we have other options here. Building an inn can't be combined with bank. Building a bank can't be combined with inn. So this is an either or. Stables and horses can't be combined with farmland. Recruit an army. Hire a mercenary group. Build defensive watchtowers and outposts. Expand milling by building windmills. Add new farms north of town, which can't be done by stables. Okay. So, I'm going to go high priority windmills. Addison already knew I was going to do this because windmills... Look at me. Windmills are the shit. And we should double dip into our biggest strength. We already came close to starving last winter. More windmills, more flour, more bread, more trades. Yes, windmills. Okay, now medium improvement. Medium improvement, handled competently in a reasonable time. What should be our secondary here? Do I want to kind of fill out military? With the windmill and more flour, I would have presumably more gold, which could offset doing the mercenary group. That's going to probably eat up all that gold, though. I kind of want to do horses. Horses are cool. Time. See, the bank gives me extra money, but so does the windmills. I don't think I want to double dip straight into money, at least this run. I'm sure at some point I'm going to go through this game and try to 100% it and get all the achievements. But for this first, mostly blind run, let's go horses. Because horses are cool. Yeah, horses are cool. Low priority. Not with urgency. That's fine. Okay, so we're locked out of new farms. I think more visitors, more gold, more favorable opinions, more influence, or an army. I'm gonna say no to mercenary group. I got some bad juju about that. Increase security from invaders. I feel like these are mostly the same option. Maybe I'm misinterpreting that. I feel like I should crank up military. We've already had someone intrude in our lands, murder one of our people. All the extra flour and horses won't stop that. But presumably we are currently upholding the king's peace for a little bit, so I think, yeah, this is fine for low priority. Not that I have an option at this point, but we'll do army. Party really wants to do bank, though, but... Getting right away on recruitment. Alright. Into April. Oh, let's go to the window first. Yes. Beautiful. Beautiful windmills overlooking my sweet valley. Toward the hills south of Brookton, thy meet with thy steward as they discuss the new windmills with the master miller. I am pleased to announce we are beginning work on the new windmills. The master miller is looking forward to having a new place to work. Out of far Oroynt from House Callbridge and their like. I might be mispronouncing a lot of these words. Apologies in advance if I am. It should be expected to take a month or so to build all, at which point we should see our flour production increase and a new trade partner may need to be found for all the additional flour. Good. We can probably sell it for cheap in return for political favors. Yes, yes. Vote for me in the council and I'll give you 3 breadsticks. On the morrow a friendly face arrives and is admitted to thine study. When thy steward said I would find thee here, I thought to find thee napping. Imagine mine surprise to see mine lord's sibling working on ledgers and messengers. Oh, this is sister. Sister Brightward. We got what brings ye home without mine leave? That seems a little rude. Likely is surprised to find myself learning thou knows what an honest day of work looks like. 'Tis good to. We're gonna be nice. This is family. You gotta be nice to family until they prove otherwise. It's been too long. I have missed thee too, my dear sibling. Working in the capital has its perks, yet it is nice to come home on occasion. I come bearing news from the High Lord. Thou hast summoned thee to the capital for a lord's mount. I wanted to follow up on deals here for our capital allies, so I chose to deliver this message myself. We got, what is the reason? Could thou not have attended for me? Oh no, I'm the Lord. Speak to the house of the capital already, probably important. How has thine been as... God, I'm having a hard time reading these on site. How hast thy time been as lordsman of the capital? Or that's all I need to know. Let's see what the reason is. The meeting is for the lords of the sworn noble houses of the Western Valley to discuss matters affecting the whole valley. I suspect the most important item will be the selection of a new high arm. The second in command, the current high arm, soon to leave for the king's court. Okay, I got a lot of options. How's your time been? Oop. Tis has been fairly successful. I count more and more of the minor nobles in the capital as an ally with every season. I still struggle to convince some of the more noble highborns to meet with me. They think our house too small to truly belong in their ranks. Well, when I control the entire cake-based industry of this world, then they'll hearken to my demands. No croissants for you. As thy lordsman, I hast been able to have audiences with the High Lord, yet without an official spot on the High Lord's Council, there's only so much I can do. Okay. I think that's good enough for now. How long do we have to make plans? 1 month. Who will serve as the acting lord in thy absence? I aim to serve, so I will stay here until thou makest thy decision. Should thou wish, I can serve as the acting lord in thy stead, or return to the capital with thee and attend the lord's mount as thy advisor. Ooh. They apparently have a bunch of allies out there in the capital, though. Even if they're only noble houses, it's probably better to have them with me, right? To put the capital, heir and steward. How are we looking on stats here? Everything's mostly stabilized. Thy heir is found hanging around the barracks, one of their favorite spots in Brookton to spend their idle time. Good morrow. I was just telling the guards about the Lord's Mount being called. Oh, it's like a little horse. Nice. Is it true I may be in charge while thou art away? I shall not let the dishonorable curs of Bridgemount get anywhere near our borders. If they so much to try, I have a point made just for them. No. I don't like anything you're saying. They grin stupidly. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, no, you're not going to be in charge, little buddy. Chastise them for insulting House Corbridge so openly. A lord must be honorable even to those who have wronged him. Remind them that decisions are yet to be made. Would this be doing this in public? I feel like that's bad. But also, I think they need it. But also, they might get mad at me. But also, maybe they should be mad at me. Because I apparently did a shit job at raising them because they want to start a war. Let's chastise them. It'll be fun. They look confused as thou were not impressed by their commitment, yet their face turns red with shame. Good. You better remember that lesson. Steward. Still no refuse from that blind spot. I do miss the capital, yet I can't go with you. I hope that you are able to parlay our new improvements. Okay. Why must you stay here? They give thy an uneasy look. I mean, no offense, I don't mean to make decisions for you. There is too much happening that I should be managing. That's fair, we have all the improvements going on. Much was planned before we knew of the Lord's Mount, and I can't allow it to go unattended. That makes sense. Who do you recommend I take with me to the capital? Leave the kid here in charge and take Abigail. Seasoned with the ways of noble dealings. Okay. I didn't get a chance to click the other option. So they want me to leave the kid here and take dear sibling. But if I leave the kid here, I mean, he probably won't murder random villagers of other settlements, right? Right? Stables. Show me where the horses play. Mine lord, 'tis nice to see this field put to good use. The longer it laid unused, the longer our neighbors would regard of making use of it themselves. Working on clearing land, shall start construction of the stables anon. Good job, Sir Eyebrows. In the meantime, it would serve to consider who thou would like to appoint as stable master. We can recruit one from another house or appoint one within. Either option is sure to create a loyal ally in the years to come. Okay, so I have an option of self-appointing someone from our place or hiring an outsider. Acting lord appointment. Okay, I have to decide. That was quick. Okay, the party going into the capital includes myself, the consort, a number of small servants. A number of small servants? A small number of servants. Those two mean different things. I'm sure my servants are probably fully sized. Another member of thy house should attend thou to the capital to assist in meeting with other houses. With all the lords of the valley's noble houses in the capital there is certain to be no shortage of political maneuvering taking place. Thou must declare an acting lord to rule while I'm gone. The steward will assist, but it is improper for him to assume the role of acting lord. Okay, so we have two candidates. The kid and the sister. Who shall be serving as active... Okay, who's staying behind? The heir or Abigail? Now, I wasn't going to leave the kid here for it, because he seemed a bit too bloodthirsty. But we did shame him about it just before this. But I feel Abigail will be better off with me since they know so many nobles. Meanwhile, I mean, what's the kid gonna do in the capital he's never been to? The question is, can I trust him here? Well, can I even trust him over there, though? I apparently can't keep an eye on him here. I haven't raised him very well. Declare thy heir as acting lord. Bring Abigail with. Ooh, we lose morale for it. We gain morale for it. Okay. Okay, if I'm going to gamify this a little bit, I assume what's going to happen is I leave Abigail here. Morale goes up because they have someone competent in charge. The heir is going to cause problems no matter where they are. I can leave him here, take the morale hit, have someone skilled with me, or lose out on an ally up at the Lord's Mount. Which is better? Bring thy heir with to learn of foreign policy. Okay. That does make sense. Kid's got to know how to schmooze. But he also should know how to rule, though, too. Let's leave the kid. Let's leave the kid. Alright, Thorin, don't screw this up for the rest of us. Being with confidence, they stand as tall as they can. Nobody shall bring harm to our house while thou art away. I hope that includes yourself. Okay, yeah. Young Lord Brightward, let us speak after her, and I shall fill thou in on the daily operations of the keep. Steward talks to Abigail about the available resources that would be suitable for trade with our houses. Okay, the morale hit wasn't too bad. Wasn't too bad. Okay. Oh! Who will first? Oh my god, look at them, they're beautiful. You ever seen something so glorious before? Hear the wonderful wooden gears turning inside, churning our sweet flour into delectable flour. Just turning grains into flour, aren't we? Yeah. Speak to me, my man. The windmills have been completed and the millers are beginning work. We shall continue selling to our normal vendors, yet we have capacity now to take on another outside trading partner. Flour is our best export, so a traded deal could be a great way to forge a better relationship with one of our neighbors. Keep this in mind when negotiating with our fellow lords. Okay, you got 4 new millers. Food, good increase on food, good increase on gold. Ooh. We're gonna be at 4 gold, huh? Nice. Let's look at army recruitment first before we hit depart. Oh, you look serious. Handful of workers are found setting up the most beginnings of an encampment. House Brightward Master of Arms is seen supervising when they spot thou approaching. It is a humble start, yet it feels so good to be prepping a proper standing army. There is only so much that our normal guards and barracks can handle. Without a dedicated troop of fighters and training grounds, we should be able to both protect ourselves better and exert our influence more effectively. Depending on how successful recruitment is, I am hopeful to assemble around 10 to 20 to form a formidable troop that even the largest houses would regard twice to tussle with. Good man. I love your fences. You got a ways to go, but it's a good start. They look like good fences. They're even in our symbol, the breadstick. I wonder if loaf of bread was one of my options for a sigil to start. I don't think it was. Departing for Crest Hall. The day has arrived for thou and thy party to depart for Crest Hall. The trip to the far end of the valley is long, yet relatively safe. 'Tis not oft thou make the trip to the capital thyself. Being lord of thy house doesn't leave much time for such opportunities. Yet a lord's mount, second only to the calling of the banners, is one of the most important summons thy high lord can issue. You spend much of the trip planning and preparing for the work to be done once thou has arrived. Alright, it's getting on up. Unexpected company. It's always something. Oh! Hello. Thou meet Lord Stock and their caravan at the Lord's Road. Nice crown. I see you have chosen to not wear it at a jaunty slant upon your head. For shame! Lord Stock is thy neighbor to the south, yet 'tis not often that thou meet them in person. As they are one of the most influential members of the Banner Lords, they are second only to Carlbridge in size. Ah, what a sight for sore eyes. If it isn't the good Lord Brightward, it has been too long. We heard what befell between us and Carlbridge last winter. Dreadful, I imagine. I would have handled it as thou did. Alas, there have been plenty of time for politics in the capital. What say thou? Will Brightward accompany me and mine as we travel to Crest Hall? I don't see why not, right? They haven't done anything to me, and you gotta schmooze when you can schmooze. I guess I should have read first. I only have accept as options. Learn more of their opinions on Carl Bridge. I kind of can glean that from them saying they would handle it as we did. Of course, this is a political narrative game. They could be lying, but let us see what's up in their neck of the woods. Smiles grants orders to their guard to compose space in their company for thou and yours. I spend the time discussing the winter hardships, finding out that House Stock has a similarly hard time securing enough food for winter. Oh boy, do I have a deal for you, my friend. Their farms had trouble providing for their extra guards brought on over the last year. They have learned that outside the valley, the lords of the southern plains have ignored the bandit groups, and guarding the village's border gate has become difficult. Alright, so they're also in not an ideal spot. So I imagine this must be where we are in the road here. Home is that direction, and ooh. Got my controller here. Let's go exploring for a minute here. Oh, I don't remember the controls. Okay. Little targeting dummies. Little encampment here. I don't know if it's the right road or not. Ooh. Oh, I do like the walls. The walls are nice. This place feels more homey than mine does. Maybe it's because it's at like a nice, like, bowl-shaped slant. I don't know. I like it. They're also growing pumpkins. Everyone's growing pumpkins. And a lot of wheat. It's kind of military fortification here at the literal edge of the world. I think they mentioned something about the gate of the valley. I wonder if this is it. Got a little signpost here. Alright, so this was definitely not the way to the Lord's Mount, I assume. Let's jump back. Or I guess I could just click next week, huh? Alright, let's see where Crest Hall is then. Whoa. Well, let's talk first, and we'll explore. After a long week on the road, we finally arrive at the High Lord's seat. My house and House Marcave shall be staying in modest guest houses rented within the Lord's keep. A finely dressed steward greets thee as several servants begin collecting thy things and leading your horses to a nearby stable. Greetings, Lord Brightward. My name is Harold Bennington, our High Lord's steward. It is with our High Lord's thanks that I welcome you to Crest Hall. Okay, the meeting starts tomorrow. If it pleases my lord, I shall show thou and yours to thine quarters, so we may get settled and refreshed. By all means. Despite having private space in the capital for thy stay, a show of wealth many could only dream of, thou can't help but note the expansive mansions the other noble houses hold. So we're being snubbed. Damn them. Alright, let's check this out. We got the ocean. A lot of fortifications. A nice little market here. A lot of knights. Oh, it keeps going. It is much bigger than my house. Still pumpkins. Everyone grows pumpkins. Pumpkins, is this corn? Probably be corn, right? Is that what corn looks like? Growing up in the Midwest, I should know what corn looks like. And then, what's this? Docks? Alright, so let's hope that little one does not burn our home to the ground while I'm gone. And let's see what the High Lord wants. My goodness. Our first day of the Lord's Mount has arrived. The lords of the four noble houses await anxiously for what matters. That's settled. So they're also the bird sigil. That's what I took. Not purple, though. Shame. High Lord of Cresthall, Keeper of the King's Peace, and Warden of the Western Valley. Sir Beauregard Bennington. Again, I'm the only one wearing their crown at a jolly slant. Boring of them. Lords of the Valley, it is a great honor to hast all as guests here to discuss matters of great import that face our valley. I trust we shall work together over the coming weeks for departing for home. Future and strength of the valley depend on it. Okay, announcing the schedule. 3 major meetings and topics to discuss. Firstly, the conflict with the Faraways. Last fall has left the High Lord wanting stronger armies. I got good news for you. Each house is expected to handle their own, yet our High Lord needs a house to take charge of constructing new siege weapons. Secondly, the High Lord's arm and younger sibling shall be filling a vacant seat in our King's private council. In their honor, we need a noble house to host a tournament in the High Arms honor. Lastly, with Charles Bennington leaving for the King's private council, that leaves the Western Valley without an acting High Arm. The High Arm acts to extend the reach of the High Lord's authority throughout the valley, and the position must be filled. Thou noble lords of the valley shall pick the next High Arm of your own to serve our High Lord. So one of the 4 of us becomes the next High Arm. Meeting set up the next couple of weeks, giving thou time to handle business while in the capital. Alright. Okay. We visit with Marcave. Lord's on assignment, and the Whisper Ear. Let's see what our spy friend has to tell us. One of the guards approaches while breaking my fast and reveals to thou that they are a Whisper Ear, one of the Whisperhead's secret servants. My lord, the Whisperhead felt it prudent to send one of us with thou to the capital. If our lord has any tasks that are not appropriate for a lord to be seen committing, just say the word. Ooh. Okay. Sabotage trade deals with competitor millers and farmers. Discover any secret alliances between the houses. Secure an informant in house stock. Alright, so the first one comes with an obvious risk, right? If you're caught out, that's bad. But as I now seem to have dominant control over wheat production, flour production, I suppose, and probably wheat, it could behoove me to monopolize that. I kind of wanted to go for an honorable run here, though. It doesn't seem very... I mean, it's also a political game. I need to get my hands dirty at some point, right? Discover any secret alliances between the houses. That could also be useful. Secure an informant in house stock. So it seems options 1 and 3 have the most risk. What does our Whisperhead already have you looking into? That's good to know. I can't give thou details, as you know the Whisperhead's work is meant to be kept secret till necessary to forbear compromising you. Yet I have special interest in our more annoying neighbors. Okay, so they're looking into Carlbridge. Let's do secret alliances. Could be useful. Resume the normal duties. Good day. What do you want, Marcave? Of the noble houses of the Valley, House Marcave is the first to invite thou for a visit. While I am the smallest, Marcave is not much larger. Despite this, they are a proud and oft-secretive house, known for their master smiths and the rich minings in the mountain their house is nestled between. You don't even have a crown, my man. Greetings, Lord Brightward, Gramercy, for visiting us so promptly. I believe we have much to discuss. While our houses are far apart, I bet it best if we work together more to help strengthen our positions. Is that how you spell strengthen? Am I insane? Hold on. Slight video pause here. I need to Google something. I need to see if I'm an idiot. No, you misspelled strengthen, Addison. And position has 2 eyes. For shame. For shame. I, myself, have never misspelled a singular word, nor have I ever stumbled over reading out lines. What? Dost thou have aught to trade? What is thy opinion of our fellow lords? Discuss the Lord's Mount. And then GTFO. You have to trade. They're smiths, right? Grabs a sword behind their seat and I assume it renders it to me? Tenders it. There we go. What if we arm that with the finest steel in the valley from the smiths? So now we can show the small house we still have sharp thorns. That would be good for my upcoming army. Have the sword as a gift. What can thou offer in return for more weapons for thy soldiers? Okay. I do have enough flour and bread for one more trade partner. I also have the ability to buy or sell and train horses. Or we can just straight up buy it. Swords would be good for the army. With my raising army and brand new weaponry, I imagine my military strength would shoot up. Which would be good, because that's certainly where I'm lacking at the moment. But if I deal in this... Yeah, relies almost entirely on outside food. We could offer better options. My food production, I assume, would drop. I could offer them the horses we don't yet actually have, and whose quality remains unknown, but I could offer it. It would not be cheap. Now, I want to do gold. Not gold, flour. You know, the edible kind of gold. Freshly baked bread. They rely almost entirely on outside food, so this seems like it's kind of a slam dunk. I don't know what the other houses primarily trade in, other than the fact that I'm not giving Carbridge any more flour than what he's already overpaying for. We also had Stock, who was to our south. Stock said he also had a hard time in the winter and probably also wouldn't mind flour or food. I should save the flour and bread for House Stock if they ask for it and offer the horses that I don't yet know the quality of. Oh. That with limited fields in the mountains, they have no room to train horses properly. Oh. Okay, it looks like they like that a lot, actually. What are your opinions of our fellow lords? It is no secret that House Stock and House Carbridge are in a power struggle to be the most powerful sworn house. Both of them lack morals in the face of their own ambitions. Okay. It would tear us apart if it could help their standing against the other. It will only get worse if one of them is high arm. Let's discuss the Lord's Mount. Exciting, troubling times indeed. I shall miss Charles Bennington as high arm. I believe it is safe to say we stand no chance of being high arm. I have put little thought yet into who I expect to support between them. Yeah, we're probably too small to have any real strength to throw around that ring. I has not desired to host the high arms fair. Yet the role of constructing siege weapons is something I hope you would support my claim to. They seem to be the House of Smiths. Oh, okay. Hold on. How much do I want to gamble here? I shall support thou in upcoming appointments during the Lord's Mount. It is too early to know how we will vote. I wish you luck. So this is, do I want to support him in gaining the role of constructing siege weapons, which seems to be a natural fit for his house anyways. I've seen nothing in the game that would inspire me to think that I have the ability to adequately construct siege weapons. My military strength is low, and I seem to be mostly a farming-based house. Yeah, you know what? Small houses unite. Support you, others hold thou in high esteem, so I will choose to trust you as well. Should thou compose a bid for the high-armed tournament host, expect to hark mine voice supporting thy claim. Thank you for your hospitality, we're away. So, it looks like the game is telling me that I have little to no hope of becoming the high arm, but I at least have a chance to be able to be selected to host the tournament. Which, I wonder what that gets me. Thank you for your hospitality, we should be on our way. It has been a delightful visit. Of course it has. Thank you for the free sword. Military strength goes up. Reduce space to rent out stables, so gold goes down. Okay. Sounds pretty good. Gold taking a little bit of a hit, but still over the halfway mark. Thy lord's sister finds thee on the morrow looking for thy assignment. I hope you enjoy yourself in the capital as much as I do, while I shall call Brookton home. This city has become like a second home while traveling on behalf of our house. We shall be hither for a while by the sounds of things, so what shall thou have me do whilst we are not visiting the other houses and attending the Lord's Mount? Dialogue is complex and hard to say. Search the city for a new talent we can hire to join us. Focus on trade, visiting our existing partners and explore new options. Work on improving relations with House Carlbridge. I don't like you, Carlbridge. I have done enough to improve relations by being more or less kind. Search the city for a new talent. That's open-ended but fun. Focus on trade. Exploring new options. That would probably get gold up, I'd imagine. Am I gonna play this like I'm playing a Civ match and just go for an economics-based win? Maybe. Yeah, let's go harder into gold. All right. As you say, mine lord sibling, I shall entertain our existing deals and find new partners to expand to. Godspeed, sibling. Ooh, Carlbridge. What do you want? Thy visit with Lord Carlbridge at the Carlbridge estate arrives. When it comes with extra nerves for your guard, many of whom were involved in the events of the watermill last fall. Thy steward, Maureen, greets thou and leads thee into the Lord's audience chambers. As thou waitest for the lord of the house to arrive, the size of the manse and lavish decor are impossible to ignore. After an excessive delay, Lord Carlbridge arrives, standing tall and striding confidently. They take a seat in their throne despite this ostensibly, words are hard, being a friendly visit. I don't like you. You are stupid. And your color, yellow, on your meeple is worse than everyone else's that I've seen. It is good of thou to meet with me today. I might not, but say I am terribly sorry for all of that misunderstanding last fall at the watermill, where I definitely totally tried to steal part of your territory and killed some of your men. Have you seen my cool-ass chair? Mine guards simply got a bit ahead of themselves, misinterpreting my request to send you a message. All I wanted was to alert you that I was concerned our borders were not properly aligned with how our ancestors drew it up. So I drew a new line in your people's blood. If they are spinning you a tale, you must admit they are quite good at being believable. I don't think so. Why are you holding a letter? I'm holding a sword. I'll open your letter for you. I appreciate thy apology. It is now in the past. We can move on. I can only imagine how frustrating it must have been to have thy guards fail to follow orders. Thou best not provoke us again. Try us again, and by the High Lord, they shall hark of thy continued aggression. Okay, what am I... Okay. Look at these options here. I can either choose to be forgiving and have a little bit of snub to it, or just have increasing snub. I definitely am not going to go with one. I don't like this dude. I don't like him. Your 25% extra on flour does not change the fact that you murdered our people. I think it was only one of them. And I don't know his name, but he was my favorite. He was my favorite. I like this one. This one implies that he's a bad leader because his guards don't follow his orders. God, what's the reason for this? Indeed, and yet I say, truly time does call upon us to move past this ugliness. Thou might not, but know I summoned thou hither to talk of the Lord's Mount. I shall be declaring for the vacant high-arm position. I shall be expecting thou to know what be best for thy house, and support mine claim and not Sir Stark. You can go fuck yourself. There shall be no need for animosity should we work together. What say thou? So now you're like, oh, you should know what's best for you. Now that's another threat. For the benefit of peace, we should back the claim. We have to make a decision. I do not want to be enemies, yet to be harmed. Thou shalt hast earn it. That does not fright us. We shall do what's best for us. Okay, we're gonna throw one out. Because this is some implied threatening crap here. We're gonna toss number one out. We could take the neutral middle ground here of I haven't made a decision yet. Don't want to be enemies. Yet you have to earn the position, or screw off. I haven't yet heard from Stock. My new Smith-based friend has told me that they're both kind of insane. Oh! Okay, I didn't know I could do that. Known traits, knighted for acts of valor in Pence of the Valley. Well renowned in Stockholm. I would hope so. They are lord. Closely tied to the High Lord as a military advisor. Well, if they're a military advisor, why aren't they high arm? No, let the cool... Listen, this game should promote equality. Let the cool redhead lady be the high arm. Not this doofus. Take care, my lord. In their eyes, they have already earned it. They are pressuring us. I don't want them to be my ally. They are pressuring us. We do not want to appear weak. Yeah. You do not frighten us. We shall do what is best for us. Tread carefully, Bright. God, I can't pick a good voice for him. Tread carefully, Bright Ward. The last thing thou would want is to burn bridges with thy future high arm. I need a better dopey voice for him. Attorney. High Lords of the Valley, we bid the Lord's Mount meeting to order. The Lords take their seat around the meeting table, a jovial tone in the air, to be beginning after weeks of anticipation. Let us begin with who shall be hosting the tourney to honor the former High Lord's arm. Bennington. Oh, I can click this, right? Oh, you look real angry. Or it looks like you ate way too spicy of hot wings and your mouth is all red. A man of weak constitution. Expert in matters of the body and humors. Aye. Alright. Whoever hosts this grand tourney will have the support of my lesser stewards for planning, yet you should be providing the land and the manpower to build the grounds yourself. The host attorney shall not be in charge of the siege weapons, which shall be decided at the next meeting. I do not crave the lord in charge of weapons distracted by matters of the tourney. Okay. Several lords are on the table. Shift and take quick counsel. After a brief pause, Carlbridge clears their throat. It would be... Of course, he wants to do it. Lord Stock must decline. Defending the gate of the valley has demanded much of our attention, and our fields are far too muddy to host the tourney. Marcave has no interest, but would support us if we are interested. Marcave, you're the best. I don't know why you're not wearing the biggest crown of all these doofuses. God knows you deserve it. Your other lords look surprised at this unexpected support, catching Carlbridge off guard. Bennington turns to thee, awaiting thy intent. Okay. So we have to provide the grounds and at least some of the financial cost of this, with some of his stewards helping us with support. I'm going to imagine that successfully hosting this grants me something. It's going to grant me, I assume, more prestige, more political sway, bring more people to my part of the valley, be honored to host. We shall decline to volunteer, my high lord. We are more interested in being considered for crafting your siege weapons. No, I'm going to leave it to Marcaves. We should be honored to host. Our new stable should serve your knights most excellently. Ooh, okay. So, agreeing to build the stables got me this option. Okay. Since this looks to be... Number 1 and 2 look to be specialist options, since considering I already gave Marcaves support for siege weapons. With 2 noble lords agreeing the High Lord will almost be forced to pick us. This is also good because of the horses. Now, we go Marcave. Hard. If you betray us, I will probably burn Addison's house down. There are to be unforgiving times with local families that fail to meet expectations. Yes, they are lost for words. Good. High Lord Bankton confers briefly with their steward and nods to thee with an approving grin. Very well, we shall host the tourney. Yes, more honor. Ooh, achievement. Honor has shot up. My baseline now will be 4, huh? Cool. We got a visit from Stock. Siege weapons. We're gonna full back our bro and have it go back to trade deals. Let's do Stock first. I need to get stock of them. I am humorous. Thou arrive at House Stock's estate and are immediately greeted by their jovial lord, Sir Philippa Stock. They begin leading thee through the courtyard. Oh, we're bouncing. We're having a good time. Through the courtyard to admire the gardens and the weather. How good it is to have you join me today. I must say this Lord's Mount has been quite the event and bids well for both of our houses. I remember you wiping the smug look off of Lord Carlbridge's face with that business about hosting the arms tourney till the day I die. It has been ages since thy Lord Abigail entered a joust. What do you make of their chances? Ooh. So, Sybil is as good as ever. I expect him to grant the best of the valley a challenge. He's capable. It is simply an honor to compete with the knights. Lordsman Brightwar is going to shock the field. I kind of like that. Alright, sister, I don't know much of. I'm putting a lot on your shoulders here. I'm going to assume you are the best of the best. Thy fellow lord continues through the gardens as they call for the success of your house's combatants. Conversation continues, covering the winter and shared troubles with the short harvest suffered last year. Eventually the lord returns to the matter of the Lord's Mount. Let us speak of it. You resolve on being the next high arm of the valley, yet I would never doubt that Carlbridge intends the same. That business last year with the watermill was despicable, and I am not the only one who thinks it. It is ridiculous that he got off so easy. Mine whisper ears. Whisper ears is such a funny term to me. Have told of thou already meeting with Carlbridge, yet I shall not bid on what they demanded of thou. I only bid that thou be smart at the final Lord's Mount meeting, when lending thy voice for the next high arm. Okay. So scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. Veiled threat is still a threat. We need to be careful. Did they threaten us? I mean, they did bid us to be smart. Oh, yeah, that last line was a threat, wasn't it? Can provide for those whom help us, and can't promise the same for those who do not. Do you all have to be kind of dicks? I mean, it's politics, of course they do. Who am I kidding? Except for Bro. But at the end of this game, our new friends of House Marcave are not king of the world. I'm going to be deeply upset. An ambitious yet much stabler neighbor than Carlbridge is a fine choice. A broken promise is worse than a promise not made. Take time to think. Definitely, it seems like the only real options are between these two. I think I'd rather throw my hat in with this one. Also, this one, no one trades much of the food used by the High Lord. Steadfast neighbors, but distant. Didn't this one say that they were good, like military advisors? Am I misremembering that? All right, stock. I can't middle road all the time. I'm betting it on you. Excellent. All right, siege weapons. You know who was getting this. Much of the discussion focuses on rising tensions in the rest of the kingdom outside the Western Valley. Whilst I yet know when siege weapons shall be required, the day will come when our king has need of them. As such, the Western Valley needs a military-minded lord to design and produce siege weapons. I intend for the Western Valley to be ready for any conflict that may come. House Stock and House Carlbridge both compose polite excuses, favoring training soldiers over machines, posturing more to each other than the High Lord. So they're out. From these, Lord Marcave, renowned in the valley for being experts in both mining and smithing. We can see if thy honors thy word and promise. Absolutely. Oh, yeah. Oh, this was a bad option. That's why it's red. Can't do that. Blue House Marcave should build weapons for the Lord. They are the experts. Absolutely. A shared expression, a shared look twixt confirms they are Lord of thy worth. Word. Lord Marcave, I trust that you are interested. The craftsmen have been renowned throughout the valley. Yes, my lord, we shall get started on the task immediately. Honor, go. Oh, we did it! We maxed out honor! We're the best! Alright, Abigail. My lord, sibling, I have reached new deals with a couple of the merchants we work with regularly. They hand over new scrolls detailing the agreements, including a sizable increase in income. I had to make some concessions to get the better prices, yet nothing we can't not afford. Mergrin, a grocer in Crest Hall, agreed to a better price for us on flour than normal, but only if we sell them more produce than we hast here, straining our supplies. To offset this, a deal was struck with the healer in Stockholm to trade additional medical supplies for corn. Okay, so just okay. Yeah, that was actually good though. We jumped almost a full unit of gold. Okay, so honor, we did max out for a slight moment. Our floor now is like 4.7, I think it was. Everything's doing fine. Military is still low, but that's going to go up. Morale needs something. Morale dipped because I left the kid at home. I'm going to have to go get milk. with the king. Well, not the king, but the High Lord. In the midst of a Lord's Mount meeting discussing the state of farm produced this spring, thou see Carbridge receive a message from an attendant. My lord... Oh, God, the voice. Okay, screw the voice. Mine lords, I pray thy forgiveness, yet there is a matter I shall like to address with everyone, to forbear panic and concern. Turning thee, they unfold the message and slide it across the rich wood meeting table. Oh, God. There was an incident in the woods between Bridgman and Brookton. The young lordling... Oh, God, the kid... was found separated from their hunting party by a group of mine loggers. That area hath recent reports of bandit activity. They wisely took the young lordling in and escorted them to the safety at Bridgemont. There they learned the truth of their heritage and escorted them back across the river to House Brightward and their keep. Okay. Thou mean to tell us that thy people kidnapped a member of a neighboring noble house and now crave us to treat thou as the hero? They did return him. Not that they're keeping him. I felt it prudent to discuss here and now, ere Lord Brightward heard nasty rumors and reassured them that mine people vouch for their heir's safety. Okay. So, my idiot kid, presumably, got separated from their hunting party. The Brightward people... I'm Brightward. Wow. The Callbridge people took them to their place, found out who he was, and then sent him back. If this is truthful, I don't see anything wrong with that. They're not holding him ransom. I vow to learn from thy heir who saved him, and to repay their kindness. I shall wait to pass judgment till I heart the facts from mine heir and their attendants at home. Thou holds mine heir hostage right before we vote. They're not holding him hostage, they returned them. As much as they don't like this dude, he did return the kid. He's not. If he was holding him currently hostage, this would be an entirely different argument. Right? They did escort them back across the river to House Brightward lands and their keep. Okay. We should be gracious and maintain honor. Tread carefully, calling the Lord a liar, yet not one would blame thou for wanting to hearken from thine own people. I vow to learn from the heir who saved them and to repay their kindness. That makes sense. If the little kid did wander off on their own because he doesn't seem that bright, and the people legitimately rescued him and then sent him back home, that is fine. We'll see if that's what happened. Okay, yeah, it's sure that they will be rewarded. I simply can't stand the thought of thy heir being hurt. From the look on their face, Lord Stock does not believe their story for a minute. While this deserved more tact, at least the lordling is safe. After the meeting, your messengers report thy heir's safety. For now, I can't do anything but be on guard and await the kid's side of the story. Alright. Alright, High Arm. Hey, you may have saved my kid. I'm about to piss you off real bad. The final meeting of the Lord's Mount hath arrived. It is time to pick a new High Arm of the Valley. My noble lords, my major merchants, and heads of houses, it is time we select the next High Arm. The role of High Arm is to be an extension of mine voice and judgment to reach where I am not. While mine judgment is I paramount, in my absence the High Arm decisions are to be treated as mine own. As have been done for High Arms past, this selection shall be handled no different. Nobles present today can make cases for whom they deem worthy of the role, and High Lord Bankman shall compose a selection based on their wills. Members of the crowd begin taking turns proposing names, boisterously embellishing the deeds of heads of minor houses, or leaders of merchant guilds, eager to curry favor in such a public way. After several names with no true chances, a well-dressed merchant stands for Lord Stark. Stark, wow, that's a slip. Cheers accompany This proclamation and the noble lord rises. It shall be my honor to serve as the High Lord's High Arm, from Stockholm. I shall serve justly. Accompanying the cheers, however, comes crash from the noble lord. A tall figure, head of a minor house from Bridgement, stands proclaiming that Lord Carlbridge, as they are proclaiming for Lord Carlbridge, as they are the strongest and have been just and fair to their house for generations. With all due respect to Lord Stock, the valley doth not want for a servant, but a leader alongside our High Lord. I shall be that high arm, and those who would wrong the Western Valley shall be granted swift and just recourse. Again, you're just kind of an a-hole. High Lord Bengting acknowledges the two proclaimed candidates and is looking expectantly towards yourself and Marcave. I can abstain. House Marcave would approve, yet leaves with no influence over the selection, and the lords may see it as a slight. Stand for neither, instead stand for Sir Godfrey Malister, a long shot. Okay, we can... If they win here, supporting them would do the most for staying on their good side. I don't care about staying on their good side. There is no world in which they would expect me to vote for them anyways, after the crap that just happened. I told Lord Stock I'd do it, I gotta be man of my word. Thy statement was met with mixed cheers and rebuttals. Lord Stock standing by thy side in a show of unified support. Lord Marcave looks distressed, nervously glancing over at Lord Carlbridge as they stand to speak. No, buddy. Lord Marcave stands with Carlbridge. May they protect the valley. The room quiets down gradually as the High Lord gives everybody in the room thoughtful looks before continuing. My lords and fellow residents of the Western Valley, I have known thy claims, yet there is not a clear consensus. It looks like deer consensus. A deer consensus. Gather the stags. With much unrest outside of this valley, I receive it best to leverage our strengths. Lord Stock, thy defense of the gates to the valley, I fear, may become paramount in the coming years, and thou hast been a loyal and respected house to mine rule. Lord Stock, you shall be the next high arm of the Western Valley. That first sentence there really thought like, oh wow, your defense of the gates has become paramount, so you can't be high arm because you have other responsibilities. Nice. Lord Stock has become high armed. Another achievement. Okay, now we get to leave. We need to leave before Carlbridge tries to poison us. With the Lord's Mount concluded, thy party prepare to depart for home. As thou prepare to depart, alas, Carlbridge and a couple of guards approach to bid thee farewell. Can't get out clean, huh? Well, Brightward, it's Lord Brightward to you. I would say this Lord's Mount was a delight, yet we both know the events that befell hither were not. Take thy instant to feel terribly clever. I offered peace and cooperation, and thou went and turned that upstart Sir Stock into high arms. There's no world where you could have expected me. You didn't offer peace. You started this off by killing my people and stealing my island. And I like my island. For thy sake, best hope works out. For thou, as for us, best just keep thy head down and stay out of our way. High arm or no, I have plans and intend to see them through. You're kind of just like a Machiavellian kind of a villain here, just kind of rubbing your hands together and be like, I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you real good. Okay, bye. Oops. Close out of the game. There we go. Next week, Whisper Ears results. As we return. Hopefully he does not. I don't get like murdered on the road here. On thy return trip, thou take note of the guards as they switch who is marching lone up front. After confirming that your party is clear of any outside travelers, thou join the lead guard, whomst thou now know as a Whisper Ear. My lord, what a lord's mount! I canst only imagine the fascinating things thou discussed, yet I must say I harked all sorts of fascinating things. I knew most little of House Marquet before this trip, kept to themselves, yet won't dunce the mouse about providing the High Lord and their guards with all the steel they want. Is that some kind of medieval slang I don't understand? Won't duns the mouse. Imagine mine's surprise to learn that most of the weapons and tools they sell actually end up in Carlbridge's lands. They chat idly about the road ahead, and with a wink politely excuse themselves as to her time to change scout duty. They did look at Carlbridge nervously during the meeting, though. That was explicitly stated. I hope Carlbridge isn't, like, blackmailing our boys. I want a free trebuchet at some point. Okay. Stables have finished. Army delayed. Well, that was the lowest priority. That's fine. Let's see what's going on at home. Did my kid burn everything to the ground? Hey, kid. Thankfully it's raining. Oh, my controller died. How can I look around without this? Come on, connect. Connect. There we go. Nothing appears to be on fire. The windmills are still milling away. God, you are wonderful. I'm not going to look at the stables. I'll look at that once the reveal happens. Alright. How bad you do? Thou arrive home, greeted by members of thy house and important families in Brookton. Thou make it to the keep, eager to see thy heir again, and get an update on what truly took place in thine absence. Thorin rushes to greet thou. Thy steward Glayman follows behind them. My lord, it is most excellent to hast thou back. Things have been a bit on edge. Ever our little lordling's mishap with the loggers of Carlbridge. We knew better than to let the lordling go hunting that close to the river, yet they were insistent, of course they were. We could not have known their horse would get frightened and take them so swiftly a front from their escort and across the river. Why'd you give him a horse to himself? He's still playing with toys, for God's sakes. Encourage thy steward to tell what befell Thorin, what befell after Thorin was missing. Thank the steward, but I will hear the rest of it from the heir. Admonish Thorin, turn it into a teaching moment to be more careful. And unknown? That must be a spelling mistake. Let's hear it from the kid. Let's hear what the kids say. Which is probably a mistake. He's probably going to embellish some things. We'll see. I gotta give him a chance. The heir, silent on the matter till now, looks nervous before recounting what befell. Well, the loggers were nice enough, and upon realizing I was lost, they rushed me to their keep in Bridgement because they heard of bandits in the area. The lord's consort was so nice, they insisted that I call them Marjorie. Let's see what Marjorie looks like. Quiet and private, little is known, does not mingle with members of our house. It spoke to me as their servants brought me sweets. It took a while, but their guards showed up again, ready to bring me home, and that is when we met Marden Smith at the bridge. Oh yeah. Angry man. Not a knight. Not yet. One day. Thou hast reason to believe Carlbridge was attempting to intimidate, yet it is unclear whether it was premeditated. So we think they were attempting to intimidate us by holding our kid ransom for a period of time. So my character is insinuating that they knew who he was immediately and held on to him for a little bit, if I'm gathering that correctly. But it may not have been premeditated. Thou thank them for being brave, reassuring them that they won't has to be a lord of the house again till they are ready. Alright. Look at the army. Oh, we're gonna see the stables anyways! Cover your eyes! Oh, we have tents now. Nice. Upon returning from Crest Hall, word arrives that progress on the full-time army troop has been delayed and the recruitment effort is lagging. My master at arms appears stressed, and after gathering their ledgers, they turn to meet with thou. My lord, I apologize and take responsibility for the delays. I know thou were expecting us to be well into training by your return, yet I put the wrong people tasked with recruitment. Progress is being made again, but by end of month the army should be ready and in full-time training. Okay, that's fine. I only really pissed off our bloodthirsty neighbor. Take all the time you need. Oops, I met. Stable's finished. Oh, our beautiful horses. They look just... Actually, they all look almost identical to Epona from Ocarina of Time, which is good. Oh, look at him go! Hell yeah. My lord, the stables have been completed, and we are ready to begin breeding, training, and boarding horses in luxury. It will take months or years before Brightward is renowned for horses, but this is the first step that thy neighbors will surely recognize. 4 new stable hands hired. Gold. Long-term gold is at 5. Honor is at 5. Ooh. Doing an economy run after all. I am honorable and wealthy. Act 1 epilogue. Here we go. With the lords not finished and behind thee, it feels nice to be back home surrounded by thy family and those sworn to thy house. The improvements made throughout thy lands are looking promising. Despite the drama surrounding the other noble lords, thy heir being held briefly and the lord's mount, thou cannot help but feel optimistic that your house is headed in the right direction. This is no time to rest, though. There's a turn to prepare for after all. Alright, and that brings us to the end of Act 1. Let us look at the windmills. Behold their true, unending, eternally spinning splendor. And I'm going to cut the video here. Hour and a half. Oof. We're going to cut the video here, and I will see you at the beginning of Act 2. Goodbye.